You're locked into Wide Open Wednesday with Fred Fletcher and Nick Leach. Okay, kids, keep your hands inside the ride. It's going to get fun. Here we go. Oh, yes, it's going to get real fun as we get started here on Wide Open Wednesday. Well, the weather has changed. Of course, when the weekend comes, it changes to rain, and it looks like we're going to have showers Saturday again. And we started a new segment last week called Ask Girl. Well, we stumped him, and now he doesn't want to come back on the show no more. So we stumped him so good that he got pissed off, and now he doesn't want to come back on the show. So he went on vacation. He said if he can make it in, he'll make it in. But I think he's mad because he got stumped. That's probably the first time in life he's ever got stumped. We were going to have a special guest on. We were going to have Mr. Fletcher, the real America's Mechanic. The original master.
The OG.
The OG American Mechanic. Don Allen, always the first one in, always the last one out. Our crash test dummy, and he's hanging back there behind me over top of Johnny Leach back there. Last week was my brother's birthday on July 2nd. And Jimmy Horton's birthday was on July 3rd. So, yeah, pretty cool. No, he's not going to LDE. You need to stop with that bullshit. But that's probably what's going to happen. Joe and Bear are probably listening, and they want him to, we're going to try and recruit him. But no, he's not going anywhere.
He just went on vacation.
Because if he goes, I'll see him at Wall. So I'll just throw him out of the tower. And then he won't go nowhere. But no, there was some good racing over the weekend. How about Briggs Danner winning the BC 39? Who would ever thought of that? Got a ride, wins the BC 39. Anthony Macri, which probably should have been driver of the week. I think he won 3 out of 5 races this weekend, Mr. Macri. Jeff Tice is with us. But yeah, I mean, Anthony Macri done a hell of a job. Good to have him back in a race car. He got hurt his back. We talked to Lance DeWeese about that when we had Lance on the show. It's not so much the tumbling and the flipping. It's like the dead, what do you say, the dead stop?
Yeah.
So, and
it's always the landing.
It's always the landing. If you don't, spot on with that landing, they deduct points for that. But yeah, it's crazy because there's not a whole lot of room in them cars. And Lance said that there's not a whole lot that they could do because they're in there. And he told us, Tracy, how are you? Good to have Tracy in here, one of our sponsors. And last week we had Ant in here with us, who won his first modified feature. Congratulations to him. But yeah, Mother Nature screwed up everything again. Wall Stadium didn't run. They weren't going to run anyhow because it was 4th of July. But yeah, everybody.
I think Bridgeport got washed.
Bridgeport got washed. Big Diamond ran. I think they had Twin 20s and Loudon won one of them. And then, of course, we have our guest tonight is going to be Dylan's. I'm probably going to screw this up. Swernick. He'll tell me how to pronounce his name when he comes on. He's a Empire Super Sprint racer, and we'll announce our driver of the week this week. Dylan was in the running for that, and we had a whole bunch of other guys in there too. Billy Pouch won. A lot of guys were in for the driver of the week. But yeah, without no racing going on, it's kind of hard to get a driver of the week. We're just going to make Fred driver of the week. And then, of course, if you weren't on my webpage, you got to see one of America's funniest videos as Fred Stokes trying to be a landscaper, trying to take the lights out, jumping in the pond, doing all that stuff, and be prepared. I know it takes a couple months for them to review stuff. So it's probably going to be a couple months before
Yeah.
they get to your tape. But trust me, if you go on my page, you can see it. Raymond Rosenberg. Oh, we're doing well. Just got back after a month's vacation. Must be nice, Raymond. We missed you too, Ray. We started a new segment with Earl called Ask Earl, and we had somebody stump him for the first time ever on our show. So it was pretty neat. Somebody provided a picture for us of their father that raced back in the day, and Earl could not guess who that was, believe it or not. And Earl is on his way somewhere to have a long weekend or a long end of the week. He'll be back for Wall, I'm sure, because it's
I was gonna say it can't be vacation. It's just a
no,
normal day.
no. He just told me I may or may not be. So maybe if he pulls over at a rest area or something, he'll give us a call on the phone and we'll talk to him. We're going to have Dylan Schweinick on here. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. An Empire Sprint racer in New York. He's going to be on the show with us. Almost did not have the show tonight. Was on a job to where I didn't think I was going to get done in time, but I did get done in time. So we are here. Really didn't have enough time. I was trying to grab Anthony Macri. And in the future, we're going to have Fred Raymer on here. Got a couple other people we're going to line up. But yeah, I mean, Mother Nature has wreaked havoc. I don't know how many rainouts Wall has had. I don't know how many rainouts Bridgeport has had, but it's been another one of them years where it's been a pain in the ass. Fred didn't have to close New Egypt. How many races did they had in?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They wouldn't
Well,
have had but a
maybe
couple.
three, maybe four.
Maybe three, maybe four. Exactly. Now, a lot of people are speculating what's going on in New Egypt. Guys, who would know before me? Mr. Big Mouth. Nobody would know before me. And I talked to Fred. It's for sale. It is still for sale. They didn't turn down anything. I talked to Fred about it. He said it's for sale. He said they tried their best to work with them. They couldn't work with them. And it's still for sale. It's not what everybody thinks is going to happen. Right now, nothing's happening, and that's bad.
Mhm.
But it's not what everybody thinks is going to happen. So there's nothing happening right now. Yes, Keith Stevenson. It's Swear Nick, right? Okay, there we go. Swear Nick. I swear a lot, and my name's Nick, so that's pretty easy for me.
I can't
So
forget
Dylan Swear Nick. There we go. But yeah, there's nothing happening at New Egypt that anybody needs to know about. And trust me, if somebody comes along and they buy it, Fred will call me. He will tell me, Nick, the track got sold. He won't tell me who bought it, but he will tell me that the track got sold and this is what's going to happen. And guess what? That very following Wednesday, everybody else will know too. So he gave me authorization to be able to run my yapper, but not out of turn before something happens. And of course, Mark Blackwell would probably come on here and say what's going on because he talks to Fred every day. So, and there he is, Joseph from Mayberry.
What's happening?
And when we say Joseph from Mayberry, we're talking about the real Mayberry.
Mount Airy, North Carolina,
hmm
and that's where they filmed the Andy Griffith show, and that's why we call him Mayberry.
That's why we call him Mr. Mayberry.
And now-
Danielle,
Joe is the unofficial mayor of Mayberry.
yes. Danielle Tramontana. Yes, we need something to happen so it opens next year. I know there's a lot of people that miss New Egypt. A lot of people love going to Bridgeport. Bridgeport's got a good thing going on, but a lot of people miss New Egypt, including yours truly. I would love to see somebody buy it and go to Fridays. So we could do Friday there, Saturday Wall Stadium. Wall Stadium's got a real good thing going. I feel kind of bad for Pete and Fred. They took this over and they haven't really had many races.
Yes, Joe, I have your tires.
Fred has your tires. I need some tires from New Egypt for our 602 Sportsman, and Joe, Fred has your tires. So you're good to go. All you got to do is come to Fletcher's Garage and tell them to take you to the Flying Pig for lunch.
There you go. We're in, Joe.
See,
Flying Pig.
there you have it. See, speaking of the Flying Pig,
Yeah, we went there last week.
we went there last week and man, I got to tell you, whatever you eat there is excellent. And finally, we had Jim wait on us. We haven't had Jim wait on us ever since I've been going there. Jim's never waited.
No, we usually just talk to him and then he goes
And
on.
yeah, we finally had Jim wait on us. The food is always good there. There was one of them import shows at New Egypt last Saturday. Why wasn't there anything on the internet about it, Matt? That's what puzzles me. Was it good or was it bad?
It's because they didn't want 40,000 people down there.
So,
blame it.
So, I would imagine that it couldn't have been too bad, or there would have been stuff all over Channel 6 News, Channel 29.
Yeah.
No, I did not see the new pig. There's one in Riverside. I know that.
There's one in Ben Salem.
There's one in Ben Salem. But me and Fred always go to the original.
On the Bordentown.
We go to the one in Bordentown. I had, what did I have? Buffalo chicken pizza. Jeez, oh man. Excellent. I even had it the next day as leftovers, and it was excellent.
Yeah.
Wall is looking for vintage cars on July 18th. Doug McGill. Nick Marco, I'm sure you'll be there. Wall is looking for vintage cars on July 18th for the Hall of Fame night. Just show, no go. So, not a lot of people showed up, which is good for Fred. Because I think if a lot of people showed up, there may have been mayhem like there was at Bridgeport.
Yeah.
Them guys are starting to get a name for themselves, and a lot of people are not showing up for that show. So I know they have one at Maple Grove, and it's the people are very pleasant. They get a lot of cars, they get a lot of people, and it's a very cool show. But then again, Kyle Koretsky ran it, so big difference. Kyle takes about this much, and done. Along with Shane, who's still at Maple Grove. Of course, Billy's still at Maple Grove. He'll be on later. But yeah, we got to get a stretch here where we have racing for a couple months. Can't make that one. Going to Hagerstown.
Nice. One of my favorite tracks.
Hagerstown. Definitely a cool track.
I got something to do on the 18th.
Marty Burke.
Hey, Marty.
How are you, Marty? How's the landfill? Ah,
He's on vacation.
just got home
He don't
from
know.
vacation. Under control. Nothing's ever in control at the landfill, Marty. You know better. Okay. They had the rain. They got it. It wasn't too bad up there from what I'm hearing. I was doing something different today. I may be in there tomorrow, but nothing ever changes there, Marty. You should know better. But yeah, just a lot of we need to get some serious racing in for a couple months. What do you think, Fred?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If not, me and Fred are just going to start drinking heavily.
I do that anyway.
Well, yeah, Fred does that anyhow, but Fred has a reason to do that.
Yeah, I'm a business.
He has a business and crazy people coming there. No matter how cute the dog is, the crazy people still show up, and I don't understand that. We tried to get Dakota to alleviate some of that for Fred, but sometimes it just don't work.
I'm starting to worry about what would happen if I didn't have Dakota there.
Yeah,
There'd be 50 times
but
more whack
you'd
jobs in there.
have to load that gun with bullets instead of not putting any in it. That's what would happen.
Yeah.
And don't forget tomorrow from 9:30 to 10, Need for Speed still is on WBCP. If you have any mechanic questions, Fred will answer them for you, and he'll take care of you. So as he always does. Joe LeCompte's still there, right?
Joe's still there.
Joe's still there, taking care of Fred during the show. You just got to disregard the music before Fred and after Fred.
Yeah, don't let the music dictate that you don't turn on.
That you don't
WBCP
turn it
at
on. Just
9:30.
turn it on at like 25 after 9. You get a couple songs. You'll probably be looking at yourself going, what in the hell?
Yeah.
And then Fred will come on and he'll relieve that for you.
Yeah, try to undo what that was done. So it's so bad. That music's so bad. WBCB doesn't like it.
Right, exactly. So
Except the powers that be, the big.
the powers that be, the people that are running it and paying the bills. So Merle Reese, can we Kanye into buying it back?
Either that, him and Pat Dion.
Him and
together.
Pat team up together and buy it again. And me and Fred,
Merrill's done. I talked to him and he's
did
done.
you? Okay, well then we're not getting Merle back. He's just going to stick with the Eagles stuff. So, but the Phillies, they're up and down. I'm a Philly fan. Fred's a Philly fan. Eagle fan. I'm not an Eagle fan. That's the only Philly
I'm a
team
Packers fan, so
that I don't like. Fred's a Packers fan.
that's where I'm going. I'm going to Green Bay for my vacation.
See, Fred's going to Green Bay. He's going to come back with a cheese head.
No, I already have one.
Oh, see, what you
The
need
whole
to
family
wear.
has them.
You need to wear a cheese head in here.
I can.
Back in the early days of New Egypt, I was collecting hats, and this is not a lie. I haven't found it yet because I haven't on myself. John Romano gave me a cheese head. He went to Green Bay and he got me a cheese head. He said, Nick, here's a different hat that nobody will give you. And he gave me a cheese head. So,
Yeah, that's I got one. From
all right, we're going to
somebody's
take a
guy.
break. We're going to pause for the calls, pay a couple bills, and we're going to come back with our special guest. And we'll talk to him. So let's do this. We'll do this. And we'll take a break. Who is all the rage? Sage Chiropractic. That's right. Sage is all the rage in chiropractic care. Dr. Carey and Dr. Mike will take care of you and all your back needs, and they specialize in other things too. Give them a call, 215-497-0700. They have all the equipment, all the stuff you need to get yourself in shape. They're the people that give Fred his adjustment so he can drive his race car on Saturdays at New Egypt Speedway. They are our official sponsor of Wide Open Wednesday, so go see them. If you have any problems with your back or any other problems you think you're having that are related to your back, you got to go see Sage because they're all the rage in chiropractic care. So see Sage Chiropractic. Their phone number is 215-497-0700. Go see Dr. Carey and go see Dr. Mike. Bob Drayton Incorporated has been locally owned and operated since 1955. Their goal is to provide excellent customer service and quality rentals to every client. They have a large selection of rentals and solutions for every project or every event you have. You can count on their experienced team for fast and courteous service each time you call them. And they have a 24-hour emergency service, locally owned and operated since 1955. That's over 70 years, gang. Licensed and insured, free estimates available, 24-hour service, military and senior discounts, quality products, and an excellent customer service. Check them out, gang. They're located at 151 Big Hill Road, Southampton, New Jersey. Their phone number is 609-859-3629. And they race, that's right, New Egypt Speedway, Bridgeport Speedway. Bob and his son race the 4-cylinder class, and they sponsor the class at New Egypt Speedway. So when it hits the fan, he's your man, and whatever you eat, he's got your seat. They have a 1-800 number, and it's 1-800-521-2014. So whatever you need, give Mr. Bob a call, and he'll help you out. They are official sponsor of Wide Open Wednesday right here on Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. Mr. Bob, he's on the job, and you should be too. Let's talk about transmissions for a minute. You want to get to victory lane, you can't be in low gear. You got to be in high gear. I'm talking about high gear transmissions located in South Jersey. That's right. We specialize in repair, refresh, and troubleshooting your Northeast Dirt modified transmissions. That's right, high gear. They specialize in Burt Generation 1 and 2 transmissions, and they also service Winters transmissions. It's home of the modified number 13T, driven by Anthony Tramontana Jr. They have reasonable pricing, quick turnaround. You can pick your transmission up at New Egypt Speedway or Bridgeport Speedway, and you can find them on Facebook at High Gear Transmissions. Now, these transmissions are serviced by a great tech, Anthony Tramontana Sr. You can give him a call at 609-385-3084. That's right, High Gear Transmissions. You know, the season-ending season, and you're worried about that transmission, you're worried about it getting serviced, why not call High Gear and get it done? They'll take care of your transmission. You won't have to worry about it. When you put it back in the car, you'll put it in gear, you'll go to victory lane, you'll be in high gear, and you'll be a winner with high gear. That's right. And they also do sprint car transmissions now. So if you're having a problem with your sprint car transmission, give High Gear Transmissions a call. They will take care of your sprint car. And speaking of sprint cars, let's go here. Let's go down to here. Let's put this on for him. And let's bring Mr. Dylan Swearnick. Somebody told me that's how you pronounce that. It's Swearnick, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
I'm good at swearing, and my name is Nick, so it's Swearnick. So,
yeah, it's actually we were just listening to Door Bumper Clear, and Ward Burton tried pronouncing my name on there. They went through the weekly winners, and they had Ward Burton actually try to pronounce my name. He thought it was German, but it's actually Polish.
Well,
That's okay. Nobody can understand.
yeah, well,
Ward
let
anyway.
me tell you about this sprint car driver in New York. His name is Dylan with a W, Swalnick. He's German. His name is Swalnick. His name is Dylan. So that's how you pronounce that name. But he's a good driver, though. Kind of went
good.
like that, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Dylan, we appreciate you coming on the show. Short notice. You and I were going back and forth, instant messenger. Tell everybody what you first. Let's do this. Hold on, I'm going to do this. 1 second here. Where are we at? No, I put it in here. Where is it? There it is. Boom. Now, when was this win?
This was I think it was July 2nd or 3rd, somewhere in there. This was during Speed Week. The Empire Super Sprints. We do the Central New York Speed Week. That was, I believe, the 3rd night at Utica Rome this past week, and we started 6th and took home the win.
Nice. Now, that's the only series you run is the Empire Series, or do you go elsewhere?
Currently, right now, yeah, I just run with ESS, and then we're actually right now I'm going up to the shop tonight to finish up our 410 car, and I'm looking to make a couple starts here in a couple weeks with Outlaws at Weedsport and possibly High Limit at State Line Speedway.
So you basically stay up north. You don't travel like Williams Grove and all them up there in Pennsylvania?
No, yeah, we stay up here in New York. The series travels up to Quebec, Ontario a little bit. We travel around a little bit with the series, but 360 Racing is kind of, stalled out a little bit in Central PA. But we're looking to travel here in the next couple of years more, run some 410 stuff, and when we get a bigger motor, hopefully we'll be down in Central PA running.
Well, that's pretty cool. Well, I can tell you this: you have a lot of fans. Okay, you are the driver of the week, the Wide Open Wednesday driver of the week, and we get guys from New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, New York. Now we've gotten a few more out in New York, right, Fred?
Yeah.
And the cool thing with us is we get a lot of little kids win driver of the week. They blow away the superstars. You had more than 350 votes. We closed the votes at 1:00. So you got to thank all your fans for getting you the driver of the week. We don't vote. What they got to do is they got to put you in the comments, say what you did, where you raced, and somebody done that, and then 324 other people, 50 people decided that they were going to be on your coattail there, and they got your driver of the week. So you need to thank all them, whether it be family members or whatever, and they put it on their page, they put it on grandmom's page, your uncle's page, and it takes off. And that's what we wanted to do through the whole process. And it's cool to get different people in here like yourself from New York that race, different kind of cars. And, I'm a modified guy from my brother running a modified. Fred's he runs a vintage car, but we're like full body modified people. But
right.
Of course you race at Utica and stuff like that. So you know what a modified is, but it's pretty cool to see people vote for their favorite driver and get them in there. Plus a guy that does something in the race car. That's what we basically want the driver of the week to be, is somebody that has an accomplishment, not just a what do you call that? We don't want it to be a popularity contest. We want it to be,
Gotcha.
We want our driver of the week, but we opened it up to a fan favorite driver of the week. So we have the fans favorite, and we have the guy that accomplished stuff like Anthony Macri, won 3 out of 5 races in Pennsylvania. Definitely a candidate for driver of the week. We tried to get him to come on too. But you got any sponsors you want to mention?
Yeah. First and foremost, Panther Frameworks. They're a frame manufacturer in New York. They tried stepping out a little bit down in Central PA. They're a small chassis manufacturer based out of Syracuse. They've been a big part to my success here lately. This is actually that win. It was part of Central New York Speed Week. I ended up taking the championship home for the week, the 2nd year in a row, which
That's
awesome. It's pretty big for me and our small team. But so Panther Frameworks, Doneth Motorworks, they do a hell of a job with our engines. Me and my father, we have a powder coating shop called Adirondack Powder Coating up here in Central New York.
Nice.
I got CCI companies, Westport Painting Company, Comparing Insurance Agency, which you've probably seen on Tyler Reddick's car in some of the NASCAR races.
Yep.
They've actually ventured out into sponsoring bigger things. And then we got some smaller sponsors, some Gale Brothers Racing, SunTrick Renewable Energy, Westport Painting Company, TJK Seal Coating, Ron Allen Trucking, HG Construction. I got a buddy that owns a machine shop, Jones Machine Shop. They help us out with some small welding stuff, but it's really essential. We're a small team and we're just trying to expand.
But the tracks that you're racing at, they're not easy tracks to race on. They get dry, hard, slick. Sometimes they get a lip up there, but them tracks aren't hard. They're not easy to race at. You got to finesse it a little bit, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of throttle control. I mean, we started out at the beginning of the week. This past week for Speed Week, we started out at Weedsport, and Weedsport can be just about as slick as you can get because it's a small little track, and you need a lot of throttle control, and that's basically all week. And the second race was at K&M that ended up getting rained out, and then Thursday we went to Utica Rome, and I actually won that race during Speed Week last year, and we went back to back winning the Speed Week race there. Which is also people might watch on Flow and they think there's a cushion up there. There's really not. There's about a 2-inch little lip up there that you're just trying to grab a hold of anything you can get. And then we went to Brewerton Speedway on Friday, and we ended up setting quick time in hot laps, which is our qualifying. We do like a group qualifying / hot laps deal. And I ended up making a little boo-boo in the heat race, and one of those big tractor tires, Uke tires, come out and ran right out in front of me. So I set us back and into the B main, and of course it started raining, and the track got all juiced up, and I had to come from the back of the B main to get into the show, and then I went 23rd to 3rd in that into that A main, which ended up winning me the Speed Week title because Saturday at Fulton, we ended up getting rained out, and I had a 4-point lead, and I had a Larry White going into Fulton and getting rained out. That crowned me the champion for the week.
Well, you're not racing against any slouchers. You're racing against some of the best guys out there, and like you said, the track gets sloppy. Now, some of our guys are wandering up there and running in the dirt circuit with the dirt guys because they feel that if they get seat time on them kind of tracks, it makes them better at the tracks, down south here with us. I mean, Paul Mancini, John Stangl, a couple other guys. Ryan Godown has said many times that his experience running the dirt circuit with the Super Dirt Series has helped him tremendously learning how to finesse the car. And our tracks, most of them have a lot of bite on them, but when they slick over, the guys like Ryan Godown and the guys that went up where you're at and learned how to run on a dry, hard, slick track. I mean, you look at it and you see the reflection in the car in the racetrack. I'm like, holy shit, How the hell are they going to drive on that? But and you look at Stewart's tires sometimes after feature, and you're like, how did he not burn them off? And I guess that's all throttle control, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of throttle control, and obviously I kind of grew up in central New York up here, just learning how to drive in the slick, and it really does make a driver out of you, but it makes obviously the setup more crucial than anything. And every once in a while we do get a curb, and it throws some guys for a loop because we're not used to that. But when we go down earlier in the year, we went down to Port Royal. That's my first time I've ever been on Port Royal, and I had a blast down there. And I give a lot of those guys credit. I mean, it's pretty slick, but running up against the wall down there, it's that's something we don't get. So it's pretty cool to run on different surfaces, and being on a series, that's what you get. You get different surfaces each night.
Right.
But yeah, traditionally it's all slick up here.
I know Alan Johnson years ago when he came to New Egypt, the track was heavy and he was scraping mud off his car. He was pissed. He was like, I don't have to scrape mud off my car ever. He goes, this track sucks. He goes, you need to take the bite out of it, make it dry, hard, slick so we can race on it. I'm like, our guys race on it every week and they love it. But it's just a preference. You know what I mean? My brother, he said, geez, if I knew then what I know now about dry, slick, my brother was a mudder. If the track had some bite in it, he would go like hell. If it got slicked over, he was screwed because he didn't know how to finesse it. And I remember one time Larry Lombardo backing off the carburetor. He said, you can put it to the floor all you want. You're only going to get so much. And it actually made him a better driver by doing that. So, it's crazy when you watch it on Flow.
Yeah, this week the guys actually, a lot of times they kept the track sealed over this past week because we were battling so much rain. And obviously they didn't want to open up the tracks and make it, almost impassable to get trucks on or try and run it in. So they left the track sealed over, and actually it made it worse, harder surfaces. So they didn't really dig into the track too much, making it tougher. And then when we got to K&M, on Wednesday, they received, 7-8 inches of rain the night before. So they kept it sealed over, and that track was slick as it can be. They're just trying to get the race in, trying to get our show in, and there's not much they can do. And that was glazed over in hot laps, just trying to get us to run.
All you got to do is come on the internet there's all the experts on the internet. They'll tell you who's running traction control. They'll tell you who's got it and how they're doing it and how they're looking at their watches while they're driving and getting text messages. All the years I've been in racing, I mean, I can understand that. Back in the day, I watched the guy with a flashlight point to the roof, go high, point to his shoes, stay down low, point in the middle, run the middle. I saw that with a flashlight with my own eyes. Okay, that's one thing. But do you actually think that these guys that run it, these circuits, and like yourself every week, do you actually think that these guys are going to cheat? It would ruin their reputation. Stuart Friesen's not going to cheat. Matt Shepard's not going to cheat. And guess what? If they do, you're not going to catch them. You're not going to find out what they're doing. They're in the garage every night. That's what they do. You work for a living. You go home. You work on your race car. They're working on their race car while you're at your regular job. There's the edge right there. And people don't understand that. And right, Fred, and it makes me and Fred go crazy. Fred's like, why are they bashing the track? Why are they bashing these drivers? But yet they pay money to go watch them race. Why do you even go? If you're going to bash them, you should just stay home. I don't understand it. I would watch shopping carts in the Kmart parking lot. That's how I was brought up. If you love racing, you love racing. And if somebody's cheating, they'll find out sooner or later. And if they don't, shame on them. I just think that our racing is hard enough that the tracks are closing. It's hard enough with the economy, with the fuel and the tires. And now, do you guys have a tire rule?
Yeah, we run an HTC medium. I think it's a D12A or so. I can't remember what the lefter is right now, but we have a tire that we run. It's the HTC. It's called Hoosier Tire Canada. It's a medium tire that a lot of the sprint car organizations run, but it's stamped HTC, standing for Hoosier Tire Canada. It's just it's a deal that we have up here in New York with our series.
Well, we appreciate you coming on the show. We'll make you up your driver of the week deal. I'll send that to you before we put it out on our media outlets tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, open door policy. You can come on here anytime you want. If you're going to go to a big show and you need to mention some sponsors, just shoot me a text, and I'll bring you right back on here. Anybody else you want to thank? Anything you want to tell us what's coming up?
Well, no, I just like you said earlier, I just got to give a shout out to whether it's my family, my fans that I've made here in the last few years, where we really started to turn our program around. It's pretty nice to be, kind of recognized as a driver of the week on your guys' show. It's quite the honor. But yeah, I mean, we're really looking forward to finishing this 410 car up here in the next couple of days. We're going to fire it up hopefully this weekend, maybe get some test laps in somewhere, and run with the Outlaws at Weedsport, and then maybe some high limit stuff here in the next month or two. Just some New York stuff. We're not going to venture out too much right now. We're just kind of dip our toes in the water, and then hopefully you'll see us out in central Pennsylvania here in the next couple of years.
Cool. Well, you got to thank your fans, because they're the ones that got you driver of the week. No matter who it may be, they voted for you. They got over 350 votes for you, and that's what got you driver of the week. And the person that you are, I can tell talking to you right now what kind of person you are, and that's the kind of person we want affiliated with Wide Open Wednesday. So we appreciate you being on here. Like I said, open door policy. Any other time you want to come in, let us know.
Please do.
I appreciate it, fellas.
All right, brother. Thanks a lot, Dylan, and we'll talk at you later, and good luck with the 410.
Thank you very much.
See you. Yep. Bye. Nice guy.
Oh, very nice.
Absolutely. And he is the driver of the week. He got over 350 votes. So
I have to say, I think New York is like the place to be right now, upstate New York.
I mean, if you watch it on Flow, there's several different channels you can watch on Flow, and the racing is phenomenal in all the divisions. The 4-cylinder division, need I say 4-cylinder, but and while we're thinking of 4-cylinders, are the 4-cylinders running this weekend at Wall?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
what I was thinking about with New York is, like, we used to run in New York with.
Yeah, you did. That's right.
And we represented 5 Mile Point for a couple of years with Kerry Schloter. It's funny, Earl and I were talking on the last Need for Speed about Kerry running Syracuse, and if I was ever at Syracuse. And I said, yeah, I was there a few times, but something popped up on the New York Speedway something, one of the Facebook pages from New York, and it was the results of the '79 June Syracuse race,
Right.
and that was the very first race I've been to at Syracuse. Was,
Really?
June '79. It was one of the Schaefer series, and we was up there, and Kerry ended up 13th, and which, if you know Syracuse, that's pretty respectable.
Oh yeah.
And actually, in October, he ended up 6th.
Especially back then with all the talent that we
Tom
had back
Hager
then.
won, so
Yeah.
yeah, that tells you right there.
Right.
I mean, yeah, Tom Hager ahead of you, Billy Osmond ahead of
Yep.
you, Stan Foss. I mean, and Kerry was good, good hold his own.
Right.
But yeah, ended up 13th, and that was an amazing time. And then in October, he ended up 6th, and we ended up 6th in the Schaefer series that year, in 1979. I was only 15, so
that's not bad.
Yeah, that was pretty good. It was a lot of fun because we did all the treks. Like I said, we represented 5 Mile Point. We co-represented with Chuck Mikulis,
Right.
Who's a
master,
the legend.
Yep.
So,
yep.
we went. We used to run Weed Sport and Rolling Wheels, and up in the St. Catharines, up in Ontario, and it was just a fun time going from track to track, taking my dad's van and just staying in the van or in a hotel. It was like, for me being 15, it was like, yo, party time.
And what brought you lived up there, right?
We lived in Dixon City, outside of Scranton.
What made you come back here?
Well, my dad stayed up there. I moved, came back with my mom.
Okay.
But every time I had a chance to go up there, I was there for the summer. And then in 1980, we ended up in Williamsport. It's away from Cary. But yeah, it was a great time to be in racing. And New York was like, I didn't understand all the tracks and all that stuff. I would just remember it being a lot of good racing. Seeing Barefoot Bob and racing against Jumpin' Jack, because if you've seen Jack there, you were pretty much just relegated to second or behind.
Yes.
Alan Johnson,
Yep.
C.D. Coville,
Yep.
and we're good friends with Carl Reynolds.
Yep.
And Dave Kneisel. My
Yep.
dad was real tight with Dave for a while.
Right.
And it would have been nice to have my dad here. That's what we were starting to talk
Yeah,
about
because
earlier.
we could. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad he was going to come out because he said he's getting stir crazy because he's been laid up. And then my stepmother called me and said he was feeling under the weather and he just was afraid to not make it out
You
yet.
can call in.
Yeah, well, that's another challenge. It's easier for him to drive out here.
Yeah, but I mean,
but yeah, hopefully he gets back on the mend and we can get him in here in the studio or whatever, because his memories with the racing in Flemington, Windsor, and 5 Mile Point, and Syracuse. It was just, I love Syracuse. I miss Syracuse. I would love to go back up.
When we grew up, people that are in their early 60s, late 60s,
Early 60s. I'm in the
early 60s, but I'm just saying in their late 60s, you got to realize the talent that we've seen on a regular basis. And me and Mike talk about this all the time. Beavers, Plosky, Horton, Tasnady, all them guys, superstars. And then they're all in a heat race together or they're all in the feature together. So if you're betting in the grandstands, you got 10, 15 guys you could pick from.
Oh, yeah.
Osmond, of course, your dad was a big fan of Osmond.
Yeah, good friends with Billy.
And all them cars could win. You're hoping that somebody breaks so your guy could win. And it's just
Gary Ballou.
Gary Ballou. Them guys would come from New York and come to Flemington, and we were blessed as kids to be able to watch all these guys. And then Newt Hartman came up, and Danny Klockner, and Larry Klein, and all these guys. And this is what we talk about in the Earl's Time Capsule, and Garback, and all them guys. And we Greg puts pictures and stuff up, and some of the pictures that Earl brings us to put in the time capsule. If you haven't watched any episodes of the time capsule, you got to
get the next one up there.
Yeah, we got to get the next one up there.
Right. Yeah, I would have loved to have Dad here to pick his brain and go for his memories. But eventually we'll get him out here and get him on the show, or either maybe we'll go out there and do a show.
Crazy parties in the 70s. They were probably at Fred's dad's trailer.
My dad and Billy Osmond. Whoa, my God. Some of the stuff that went on over there. But I remember 1986 up there. We didn't have a car or any skin in the game, but my dad had a brand new motorhome, so they thought we were a car owner. So they put us in the VIP section, and we were over there with Billy. And they made like a courtyard. It was Billy's and my dad and a couple other guys. And the parties that they had up there. And I was old enough then, so I was 22. So but we had a good time, and I miss those days. And my cousin Dickie Marcin, he might be on here listening. He was a big Plosky fan. We've been going back and forth. I haven't talked to him in at least 20 years. and the racing's putting us back together. So he's up in North Jersey.
I mean, it's just, like I know Stan Plosky, and the kids, and I got to know Stan because my brother helped Ryan go down. Of course, Stan is Ryan's uncle, and I wish I would have talked to Stan more earlier than I did latter. Wow, the stories that he has and some of the cars that he has driven, and Stan, he proved that he could get in a car and drive. Osmond looks like he can get in a car and drive with no problem. Beavers looks like he can get in a car and drive. These guys all took very well care of themselves, and when old age gets a hold of you, you got to cherish the moments that you have and remember the memories that you have. And, with my brother passing on, my sister-in-law is sending me some stuff. She sent me that Eddie Mumford card. It's over there right in front of the computer. My brother Kenny built that from scratch. He built that all from scratch because Eddie was one of his favorite drivers. And I have a Danny Klockner card that he built from scratch. I got to find that so we can bring that in here. But Donna Kunkel.
Hey.
Yep.
I'm not drinking it today.
He's not drinking because it's too hot. It's
no, I'm finishing my Manhattan. So.
He's finished his Manhattan. We got to get a refrigerator here to get stuff cool.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
But so one day we'll get my dad out here, and it'll be a show to remember with him out here. So, but I had some good memories back there in the late '70s and mid to late '70s.
Racing. When we grew up, I already said it. I mean, we were blessed to see the people that we've seen, and then to see the Grand King cars come out, and see the Weld cars come out, and see the innovation of all that, and then the Gremlin bodies, and now the cookie cutter stuff with the sail panels and all that. I think that people like to see the drivers inside the cars. You know what I mean? And just crazy how our sport has evolved, and that's why we decided to do a show like this, so we could have something to talk about and reminisce with people and bring people on our show. We've been really blessed to have a lot of great guests on here, people that we know, people that we didn't know. We didn't know Dylan from Adam, and he come on here to be with us, and we really appreciate him doing that. I'm sure Billy's waiting in the wings to get in here, not unless he's not paying attention. So we'll see.
Yeah, we had Dad on about a year ago, I guess it was. I was out in Ohio, so he jumped on, not for long, but it really would have been really, really cool to have him here. I'm kind of upset that
Matt's a sprint car guy. You had Paxton, Snell, Baker, Williamson, and you heard of all them because you read the Ariel Racing News. But if you got to watch them guys, they were the cream of the crop in sprint car racing. And Paxton, when I went to the museum with Zach, because we had to go pick up parts, we went by the museum. I said, Zach, we need to go in there. And Zach spent time with Paxton. Paxton spent an hour with Zach, walking him around the museum. Let Zach sit in his car in the museum. I have to bring the pictures and put them up and show you, Matt. I got some really good pictures. Zach goes, how in the hell could you drive this thing? He goes, I can never get in or out of it. He goes, had to have finesse, kid. He goes, you had to have finesse. He goes, I could never get in and out of this car. Pretty cool. Yeah, he spent a whole hour with Zach when we went there and walked us around the museum. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, so I remember in the mid to late 80s going down to Hagerstown and then up to Silver Springs and stuff like that, watching the Penty Posse against the World of Outlaws. I don't know why. Yeah.
See what Don said? Billy won't come on tonight because his dad's not on. He's probably on vacation with his dad, Don. He's probably in the car with him. One of them could call.
Yeah, going down to Hagerstown, seeing Sammy Swindell, Steve Kinzer, Jack Howdenchild.
All the Outlaws.
Oh man, I love.
And they had 30, 40 cars back then.
Oh, they used to take over.
Yep. And I went to Port Royal when it was a dump, if you can believe that. And now it's a show place. I was standing at the fence because they had a sportsman race there. My brother John went there, standing down in the infield. There wasn't a fence there. And Doug Wolfgang was standing next to me. I said, the track's a little rough. He goes, that's perfect. He goes, because when they slow down, I'm going to go faster. And he won that night in the records.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if I said the story before, but we were on the infield of Hagerstown because they used to let you go down in there. And my buddy was taking pictures, and he was in the fourth turn, and Jack Howdenchild got caught up and started flipping. And I'm like, oh shit, his name was Fred. I'm like, shit, Ed. Fred. You know, Jack Hallenchild flipped right over him. So, yeah, it would have been some good pictures. And I'm thinking Lance DeWeese was down there. I got to
Probably a young Lance
I asked
DeWeese.
his daughter to send me some pictures.
Now, Daniel says, don't forget, past champions and Hall of Famers will be at Wall Stadium on the 18th. Yes, big names from the past will be there. Earl will be on next week to tell us all about it before that show. Yeah, there's a whole list of names, and Doug is trying to get some vintage cars for that show. So if you have a vintage car and you want to bring it to Wall, you're more than welcome to do that. I know there was an early message from Doug McGill that said that they're looking for vintage cars for that event. So anybody wants to bring their vintage car, they're more than welcome. Nick's going to Hagerstown with his, or I think, or he already has a previous engagement.
And one of these days, I got to get the transmission back in line. So
yeah, we got to get
I've been
pictures
so
of your
busy
car
with
at Wall.
everything.
Yeah, Fred's been busy taking care of his mom, what he's supposed to be doing, and everything else that he does. And yeah, we're going to take a pause for the cars. Hopefully, when we come back, Billy will be here. If not, we'll just flap our gums some more. How about that?
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Oh, joy.
Oh, joy. Happy joy.
You got wheels to seen better days. Don't replace them, revive them. That's right. Vibrant powder coating and wheel repair. Bent rims, scuffs, no problem. Vibrant makes them smooth and strong and stunning again. From the street to the strip, they'll make your ride shine like new custom colors, flawless finishes, and durable coatings that turn heads and handle heat. Give them a call today at 1-267-566-6842. They're located at 569 Unionville Avenue, Pendle, PA 19047. That's Vibrant Finish. For all you need in powder coating and wheel repair, they make your ride look sweet. So give them a call. Let's talk about one of our proud sponsors, and that's Five Peaks Media, brought to you by Craig McGill, 668 Woodburn Road, Langhorne, Pennsylvania, Suite 201, the same suite that Wide Open Wednesday is in, and their phone number 609-577-7996. Craig McGill, we call him Magic because he creates the magic behind the Wednesday. Whatever you need, whether it's for social media, your business, anything you need. He's been with CBS, the NFL, he's done it all. He's a master at his trade, and he can definitely get the job done if you need anything done in social media. Why is having a director important? Greg will tell you why, because he does his best work behind the lens. Do you want your message out there to the world? You got to go with Five Peaks Media. That's right. Get a hold of Craig McGill. Come on over and see us. This is why we do what we do, because we have magic. Up next, we have Fletcher's Garage. That's right, the main sponsor of Wide Open Wednesday, and they are located at 480 Hood Boulevard in Fairless Hills. Their phone number is 215-295-4931, and their motto is, if they can't fix it, it's broke. It's home of America's mechanic, Fred Fletcher, and he also does Need for Speed on WBCB on Thursday mornings. So keep an eye out for Mr. Fletcher, America's mechanic. Also, we have Reliable Consulting, Sales, Training, and Marketing, brought to you by Chris Bennett. His phone number is 215-206-9053. We thank all our sponsors for participating on Wide Open Wednesday. Hey, let's talk about roofing. Protect Roofing, protecting your assets 24/7, emergency service and maintenance. Their phone number 609-832-8300. Maintenance and repair, roof replacement, new construction, safety orienting, quality workmanship, single ply specialist, bonded and licensed and insured, full service sheet metal, and multi-time winner of the ESP Carlisle Award. And it's home of the number 30T, driven by Rob T. So when you need your roof done, you got to get with Protect. So give them a call. Looking for a dependable garage door service? Call All County Garage Door. Family owned, serving homeowners for over 12 years with more than 40 years combined experience. From garage door installs and opener installs to maintenance and repairs, they do it all with honest, reliable service you can trust. All County Garage Doors is the proud sponsor of Lightning Liam Ballard, who is a micro sprint standout and a quarter midget standout, and a former driver of the week on Wide Open Wednesday. So, if you want all what you need done for your garage door, you got to get with All County Garage Door. They are in Pennsville, New Jersey, and their phone number is 856-812-8304. All your needs, All County Garage Door.
And speaking of Lightning Liam Bell. He just came back from Indiana.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a message from him. We got to get him on here so he can tell us what happened in Indiana. I know he qualified for most of the races he was in. So yeah, he's the micro sprint deal's going good. The quarter midget thing, this is probably his last year in a quarter midget. So we'll be doing we could probably maybe take a hike to Bridgeport on a Friday night and watch him race there.
Yeah, we gotta get
on a
down
Friday.
one of these
Got to get out to Delaware too. But yeah, talking about the old days, I mean, I remember go to Windsor on Friday, Flemington on Saturday, back to Windsor on Sunday.
days.
You didn't, how did we do all that? And now you think about, I don't know if I can afford to go there all 3 days. But back then it didn't matter. You just went.
Yeah, they did it. They patched the cars together, and I
Yep.
mean, you don't have to have the setups that we have nowadays.
No, when we did the last time capsule, Mark, I said, Mark, did you make any of these adjustments? Did you do this? Speak of the devil, and here he comes. Let's see. We'll bring Billy on here. Billy, I thought you were with your dad on vacation. We were wondering if you were going to come on tonight or not.
No, I was just breaking out my suntan. I was just listening to some good hairband music. For most of you may not know, I love the '80s hairband music.
You can't listen to hairband music with a buzz cut, Billy. You
I
gotta
know.
get a wig now.
I know.
What's going on, Bill? How's everything?
Well, I must say we survived the great heat wave of the Northeast. As you guys know, last week not only was the great 250th birthday of our country, but as you know, the Northeast was crippled with one of the worst heat waves on record. It was brutally hot all last week, but we took a weekend off. But this weekend, it's all about fast import racing at Maple Grove Raceway. It's the famed Pan American Nationals, one of the biggest import races in the country. I think personally it's the Super Bowl of import racing. We're going to have fast 6-second, 250 mile per hour import cars that are going to be there all weekend. We're also doing a little bit of horse racing on Saturday. We're doing a little bit of something different. As you know, at Maple Grove, in the whole racing industry, we have to try different things to get new people involved in the great sport that we have. So we're going to be doing a little bit of horse racing on Saturday night. We'll also be doing drifting as well. And we look forward to seeing everybody this weekend. It's going to be a great weekend and fast racing and import racing at Maple Grove.
Wait a minute. Horse and buggy or just horse?
Horse.
Now, you got a lot of Amish in that area, Bill. I'm figuring maybe Lebanon Levi's are going to show up with a pair of slicks on his buggy.
Yep, we do believe we might get a lot of our Amish friends coming out. As you know, we're right in the middle of Pennsylvania Dutch country. We do have a lot of our Amish friends that are going to be that are frequent visitors to the racetrack, as you know.
That's got to be something to see.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is,
All right, now tell us how this works, Billy. Tell us how the horse races work. I'm intrigued now.
So, well, I haven't heard the details on how we're going to be doing it, but we're going to have a special area set up on Saturday night for the horse racing. It's going to be real exciting. I'm looking forward to it. For those of you that want to know, Dad's doing pretty good. I saw him over Father's Day weekend. I didn't get the chance to see him 4th of July weekend because I had some other commitments, but Dad's doing just fine. I'll be seeing him sometime next week, and next thing you know, we'll be racing this weekend at the Grove.
Oh, now Marty says, what's the next? Jousting? We're going to have jousting with the horses or what? What's going on?
No jousting with the horses, just straight up horse racing.
It must be me, but I have never heard of a horse drag race.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what, Bill? You got to take some movies and send them to me so we could show them on here next week.
It's the Montan Derby.
All right, now this week in history, let's go. What do we got?
This week we had a lot of great moments in motorsports history. As you guys know, this week we had the 25th anniversary of one of the most emotional victories in motorsports history. Me personally, I think it's the most emotional victory in sports. Dale Jr. coming back to the first time at Daytona after his dad's death, winning the famed Pepsi 400. As you know, the whole racing world was mourning his dad's death all throughout the 2001 season. And to see him win the Pepsi 400 in 2001, that was just, it put a lot of closure on a lot of Earnhardt fans. Me being one personally, even though I was very little at the time, I didn't understand the significance of it until a few years later once I got older. But I still have all the newspaper articles from that race. Also on the same day, Ricky Hendrick scored his first Truck Series win. His dad, Rick Hendrick, was there to celebrate. And as everybody knows, unfortunately, we ended up losing Ricky Hendrick and several members of the Hendrick Motorsports organization in 2004 in that tragic plane crash on the way to Martinsville. Also, if Earl's listening, what's up, Earl? I miss seeing you on the show tonight, but I do have some IndyCar themes for you as well. Back in 2013, after a long hiatus, the IndyCar Series made its return to the famed Tricky Triangle at Pocono. Also, this week in 2014, Juan Pablo Montoya won his first IndyCar race in his return back to IndyCar Series at the famed Pocono International Raceway. That was also the fastest 500-mile race in auto racing history. I think there was an over 202 average. That was also personally my first IndyCar race that I was lucky enough to attend. And
Nice.
this week, so what better way to be to attend your first IndyCar race and it being the fastest one in 500-mile history? So that was pretty neat. Also, this week was a really big week in NHRA. 30 years ago in Topeka, Kansas, we had the first 4:59 top field pass by Joe Amato, which was eclipsed a little bit later with Blaine Johnson going much quicker with a much quicker 4:59. The late great Scott Collett ended up running 315 miles an hour. That was the fastest top fuel speed that was ever recorded at the time. Also, that same weekend, John Force became the first funny car driver to go into the 480s with a 488. And Cruz Petragon, his rival that ended John's streak in the 90s, as most may not know, there was only two drivers that won the funny car championship in the 90s, that being John Force and Cruz Petragon. Cruz Petragon became the first funny car driver to break 310 miles an hour in that great weekend in Topeka. And also something that's really close to my heart, later this week in 1992, the NHRA Junior Dragster League made its pro debut at Englishtown in 1992. So as you know, the Junior Dragster League, that's basically what quarter midgets and go-kart racing is for drag racing, kids racing, half-scale junior dragsters. And as you know, so many great pro racers today have graduated from the Junior Dragster program. You have Sean Langdon, my boy Kyle Koretsky. Hi, Kyle, if you happen to be listening. Erica Enders. So many great stars of the drag racing today came out of the Junior Dragster League, and it just keeps growing and growing each year.
All right, birthdays, Billy. You got any birthdays?
Today, actually, Chase Van Sant, the Rookie of the Year a few years ago in NHRA, his birthday is today. And also two-time Top Fuel champion Brittany Force, she celebrates her birthday today. So that's a little bit of the birthdays and a little bit of this week in history and racing.
All right, Billy, you keep doing what you're doing. Get back with us next week. Now, the event he's talking about this weekend at Maple Grove, if you've never been, you need to go. Very well organized, great food, great people. Unlike the stuff that invaded the dirt tracks and destroyed stuff, these guys don't do that. It's very well organized. It's one of the best events at Maple Grove. It's always been one of the best events, right, Bill?
Oh, absolutely. It's one of the most anticipated events of the season, next to the Triple Crown and our Chevy event, as well as our Geezers event. We try to bring everything to Maple Grove Raceway. We try to keep something for everyone. Even if you're not a motorsports enthusiast, we still try to have events to get everyone involved in Maple Grove. The track's going to be there 65 years next year. We look forward to celebrating many more years to come. And we look forward to seeing everybody this weekend at Maple Grove. And come on out and give us a try in the near future. You may be a fan for life if you come in to Maple Grove Raceway.
Absolutely, Billy. All right, buddy. Keep up the good work, and we'll talk to you next week.
Will do, guys. In fact, I might be jumping into my swimming pool later on. In case you may not know, I have a tryout for the Olympic diving team for the Olympics in the next couple of years. So hopefully I don't do a belly flop. And if I do a belly flop, hopefully it's good enough to land me gold in the Olympics a few years from now.
All right, Billy. If you do, you got to wear that gold medal on the show, brother.
Will do.
All right, Billy. We'll talk at you later.
Yep. See you guys.
Thanks, Billy. Billy, the voice of Maple Grove. Now, this lady here sent me a message. Heather Noel. If you've ever went to Clayton's Sand Pit, and this girl.
I've never been there. So.
Well, you would go there.
Fill me in.
You would go there because she runs the scale. She's beautiful. That's why most guys lined up early in the morning just so they could get a glimpse of Heather Noel because she's a sweetheart. And she's been there forever. Great girl. Yeah, I miss you too. I'm one of the Clayton gang from way back. So Heather, thanks for tuning into the show. We really appreciate it. And say hi to everybody for me. Desiree, I see you, of course. Now, don't forget, guys, while you're in the local area tomorrow morning.
Need for Speed is back with Fred Fletcher, America's Mechanic, on WBCB 1490 AM, 107.3 FM, 9:30 every Thursday morning. That's right, America's Mechanic is back on BCB, right where he needs to be, thanks to you, the fans and the sponsors, and WBCB. So tune in Thursday morning at 9:30. I'll be tuning in. I hope you will too.
Well, I'll definitely be tuning in. I'll be first or second call. Is Earl going to call tomorrow? He may not even call
I
tomorrow.
don't know. We'll see.
It may be the Nick and Nick show tomorrow.
There you go.
9:30 to 10, Need for Speed with America's Mechanic, Fred Fletcher. Make sure you're a part of it. If you're not, you're wrong, as Jeff Tice would say. So, yes, Heather, thank you for tuning into the show. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and I was just messaging with Melissa Scarpati,
Yes.
who is going to run her car, her own personal car.
Okay.
It's the pink S2. Not her dad's got the red S2, Johnny. Everybody knows that I'm grown up with the Scarpatis.
Mhm.
I'm an extended family. But Melissa came over to drop off a part to me earlier, and I forgot to ask her to come on. But I texted her in, but she's going to come on maybe next week and tell me how she did tell us how she did at Bridgeport this
Bridgeport?
weekend. It's going to be her first time behind the wheel in her own car
In her own car.
in
okay.
9 years. So this is
Well,
going to
there
be
you
something
go.
to see. And I told her she's got to put a Fletcher's Flamingo on her pink car. So you'll see the Fletcher's Garage Flamingo on Melissa's car. And Melissa's a hell of a driver. And
Well, she got interviewed by Mr. Wonderful, Dislap Dispatch. It was a pretty good interview.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, I'm worried about that.
How
See,
can you
once
mess
she
up an
gets on
interview
here-
with Melissa Scarpati? She's
Yeah.
beautiful. Now, come on now. Come on
But,
now. So,
but,
yeah, you got open door policy, Melissa. You can come on here anytime you want. Thanks,
she
Heather.
caught the message a little late.
Yep.
So, but we'll get Melissa on here again. She came on during the Leadfoot Ladies Racing.
Yes.
But we'll get her back on here and hopefully next week, and we can have her talk about what happened this weekend down at Bridgeport.
Yep.
And
Don't forget,
it's always a lot
tomorrow,
of fun.
9:30.
9:30.
Be there at B Square, 107.3 FM, 1490
1490 a.m.
AM. If you're in the local area, you can hear Fred and myself and a couple other people.
And
All
I'll
right.
don't listen to the crappy music. Just turn on at 9:30
Yeah.
and I'll be there.
Yes. And Marty, I will see you tomorrow. Have a great night, gang. As Kyle correctly would say, I'm out.